There is a price to pay for everything you gain.
Hey yo, this is T.O.T. coming at you today with another Real Talk episode. This episode is going to be covering the Final Fantasy 15 Uncovered event briefly, and then some of the things that have come out afterwards and my thoughts on those things. In the background, there is some of the Final Fantasy 15 Platinum demo gameplay footage. This is mainly a tech demo with a little bit of combat as the sugar on the top. As far as the actual event itself, I feel this event turned out fantastic. I wanted to wait a couple of weeks to let my hypeness and fanboyism calm down so that way I could be a little bit more objective about things. And I still feel this, for me personally, is the best game reveal event I have ever seen. Now, GameSpot, I will say that they fucked up. They leaked that release date a couple of hours early, and to all the people that ended up seeing it, that sucks for them people. My heart goes out to you guys that ended up being victims of that. Luckily for me, I didn't find out about that GameSpot leak until after the event itself. So GameSpot, you're probably going to be getting a lawsuit thrown at you. So congratulations, you definitely earned it. GG guys, GG. As far as the actual host of the Uncovered event, I felt they did a pretty good job. I know there were some people that felt like they were going to be cringeworthy, but I honestly felt like they did a pretty good job. So it could have been a lot worse. So to Tim and Greg, I just want to say thank you for hosting the show. I felt like you guys did a really good job. To have the forefather of Final Fantasy actually have some words to say about Final Fantasy 15, I felt that was very important. And I still look at it as something that is very important. And he kind of joked around a little bit, but he has a lot of faith in Final Fantasy 15. And I think for some older fans that might be a little bit skeptical, I think you should take that to heart a little bit and kind of keep your eye on Final Fantasy 15 if you're still on the fence with it, especially since the forefather of the founding father of Final Fantasy, even had some positive things to say about it. Now, were some huge announcements at the event, which I'm going to go into now. There is a Kingsglaive There's going to be a Kingsglaive movie that's going to be coming out. And what makes it so funny about this movie is that this had been rumored months before this event. And not only did that rumor turn out to be true, but the name was dead on. So I'm very excited for this Kingsglaive movie. The main character, or the main focus character, I should say, is going to be this character by the name of Nyx. Now, we don't really know a ton about him as of yet, but I will say right now that the animation quality does look dope as hell. Not to knock Final Fantasy VII Avid Children, I still highly respect this piece of animation as well, but I feel like Kingsglaive is definitely on another level. And if the story is on point for Kingsglaive, then oh man, that's just going to be a home run all the way around. And unlike with Avid Children's situation, Kingsglaive is going to be coming out around the same time that Final Fantasy 15 will, or at least in a close duration of time. So we're getting this huge info dump with Final Fantasy 15. It's going to be like one huge super punch, like that final Kamehameha wave, or Yusuke's, highly concentrated spirit gun blast like he used with Tagoro. It's gonna be something big like that. And there are some people that look at Luna's character for Kingsglaive, and they feel like she does look older. I agree with this. Now, I don't know why. I can't recall the reasoning why this was done, but I don't have a problem with her appearance in this. Now, I think something that would be jarring, though, I do believe that the people that are going to be voicing the characters within Kingsglaive are not going to all be transitioning over to voice actors for the actual game. So this transition from Kingsglaive to the actual Final Fantasy 15 game, as far as in terms of voice actors, might be a little bit jarring for people. I do know that they got some high quality voice actors to play some of the roles. Regis is played by a man who apparently plays several roles that he ends up dying in. So there were people making jokes like, oh, well, I guess this is a spoiler. Regis is going to die because he's got this voice actor. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Kingsglaive. I'm highly looking forward to it. There is also going to be an anime, a 5-episode anime called Brotherhood for Final Fantasy 15. The first episode is already out, and I will provide a link to that down below. Something that had gotten me really interested with the anime itself was how accurate it is to what the Choco Bros was doing in episode Deska. There was quite a few familiar moves that I had seen during the combat scene, and I was like, wow, this is actually pretty damn accurate. I found it interesting that Ignis and Gladio bumped heads a little bit. This is a trope that we do tend to see in anime, and not just anime, but media just in general. You'll have this really smart guy go bump heads with this more brute force, kind of a more strength-oriented guy. So, to give an outside example, let's take Bleach, for example. You got Mayuri, who's like this crazy, smart scientist guy who's always experimenting and whatnot, that bumps heads with Kenpachi, who is like this brute strength tank guy that just wants to cut shit up. So that's the correlation that I have with these two here. And I'm glad that there is going to be some conflict between these characters as they're going throughout their journey, and that they'll eventually really grow and bond with each other, versus the bond is already complete, it's already there and full, and there's no means of a conflict, which would kill the chances of character development, I believe. So I'm glad that we are seeing some conflict even in the anime, which I'm sure some of this is going to transfer over into the actual game. Now, the Platinum demo is something that had came out right after Uncovered, and I will say that for this to be mainly a tech demo, the Luminous engine is just a mouth dropper. When the console version of Final Fantasy 15 comes out, Luminous engine will not even be at its maximum potential. It's hard to really say what the Luminous engine is going to be able to do in the future, but as far as like the lighting, the particle effects, man, this is like the best stuff that I've seen so far this gen as far as console side games is concerned. Now, some of the magic that is in the demo, especially with Kid Noctis, because we got more options with him, I felt really bringing new level of strategy to Final Fantasy 15 that we didn't really get to experiment any in episode Deska because magic was just completely absent. For example, if it's raining, fire-based magic will do significantly less damage, but if it's not raining, fire-based magic may actually leave some kind of a trail to where if enemies go into it, they take some form of T.O.T damage. Kid Noctis had this magic spell that where he threw, and there was like this rain that would fall down or something. It was like this highlighting effect. I can't really describe it without showing it. That's why it's up in the top left corner. But basically what you could do, you could throw it, and it would last for a couple of seconds, and it would hit everything that would enter in its range one time. And I think there are, and I'm speculating that we might run into some magics that might be more protection based. There was a lightning based spell that Kid Noctis could use that struck really fast, but it had a very limited range. So you had to be pretty dead on with the aiming on it. And then there was the lighter fireworks spell, which was equivalent of a fire spell, had some form of a delay to it, which I feel like this was done on purpose. Finally, there is the meteor rain, which basically just is like this nook, and it just hits everything on the field. And I feel like this type of an effect is going to be something that would fit really well for like a meteor spell or Ultima based spell. Regardless, there's a lot of strategy with the magic system. Once we get our hands on it, I knew from the very first time that I had seen it used on a behemoth, I had a feeling that it was going to be OP. And it is OP, so the game, they are probably going to limit our access to magic, which is completely fine with me, because if we could use magic for everything, that would for me defeat the purpose of using a lot of the other mechanics within the game, especially on the physical front. The Platinum demo, overall, I would say it was really good. The Iron Giant fight felt really good. I will say that switching weapons felt pretty sluggish. I don't know if that was done on purpose or not. The Shuriken and the Hero Shield helped out greatly in the fight. The shuriken you can pretty much use at a range. The hero shield pretty much is a huge defense buff and can pretty much allow Noctis to not take damage in situations where he would normally take damage if he was using other types of weapons and was in attack vicinity. And I like how there are multiple ways to stagger the Iron Giant in the demo. You could do it by blocking at the right moment with the shield. You can get the stagger off of doing enough damage. You can get a stagger off of a warp strike. So there's no one particular way to bring down that particular foe as far as the staggering. And I like the options that got brought to the table on that. I will say one more thing that I did forget before I exit out is with the Platinum demo, we got to see Titan, Leviathan a little bit more up close in the demo. We didn't get to see Ramu there, but he's an Episodesca. And it really made me speculate, if these summons look this damn good, what in the world are the Trinity 3 going to look like? And the Trinity 3 I'm referring to would be Ifrit, Shiva, and Bahamut. Shiva has already been kind of hinted at because in a past trailer, they were on the Choco Bros were on a train or something like that, and it looked like there was some kind of snowstorm or blizzard going on. And so I think this is going to be a point in the story where we are personally going to be dealing with Shiva. Ifrit is a no-show currently, and we don't really know about Bahamut, but I'm confident these summons are going to look just totally badass. I cannot wait to see the Trinity 3 and be very, very excited. I'm a big Ifrit fanboy, so yeah, let it burn. And finally, the last thing that I will get into before I touch on the last subject is going to be our mystery man. This guy right here, the Hooded Man. We seen him revealed some years back, and we haven't gotten any more information about him since. And I will say this right now, we all already know it. If this guy is not the antagonist, which a lot of us believe he is, but for whatever reason, if he ends up not being the antagonist of Final Fantasy 15, he is going to play a critical role. We don't really know what role he'll play yet, but he's going to be very critical. I'm putting cookies and milk on that one. Best believe, bruh. I'm putting cookies and milk. This character is going to be very critical to Final Fantasy 15. I mean, we've even learned more about Arena, and we kind of noticed that she's got an attitude, and I'm just like, yeah. But the Hooded Man, we still don't really know a whole lot about this guy. Know almost nothing about this guy. So pretty much all we have is mainly a lot of speculation right now, and we'll eventually find out. I think this character is definitely going to be very interesting, and this is somebody that we should definitely keep our eyes on in the upcoming months and whenever we're actually playing the game. Finally, to end this video off, I want to briefly discuss the community video that the official Final Fantasy 15 forum members worked on for months. And I do personally want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to everybody that worked on this project. You didn't have to, but you did it anyways. Rather you worked on the animations, the drawings, the translations, or just sending a message. You helped make this video. If you helped make this video possible, I do want to say thank you. I want to give a special shout out to Arizer. He actually has a video posted up on his channel, so I'll provide a link down below if you want to go and check that out. Special shout out to Prompto, Fire God 3, and Dragon for doing the translations. And I apologize if I butchered any of your names. Thank you all for all of the work that you did putting on this project. It turned out great, and I really hope that Business Division 2 gets to see it at some point in time. I know Fire God 3 has been really working on trying to get that video out to Dan Sato so he can send it up to the right people. So we just have to keep our fingers crossed on that. Anyways, if you watched all of this or listened to all of this, I do want to say thank you for your time. You be safe out there, and deuces!
And let the rage of Sparta fuel your blade.
God bless the hustler, curse the first sleeper. Enemy, get beside me, flows go deep with the side. When we ride, clocks keep all my enemies blind. That time will soon show, a folk can last for years. Outshine in your face, smiles, plastic tears like last year. Niggas stuck in the past, and it's clear. Just some buster ass bastards allergic to cash this year. Machiavelli for the mob, MOB, killing busters is my motherfucking job. Him or me.